Peace and love to you. Hotep. I'm going to try to get this to y'all either right when I wake up or right when we go to bed. This is page 10. We're going to be going through this 5 to 10 part series on who was Prophet Noble Ali. Last night at about 2:30 a.m., we finished up with page 10, and this is where we were. They cannot accept that the Nubian race is superior to the right race, the way Nubians accepted it when the devil, pale man, told us we were inferior and that he was our God. Ooh, it's getting hot. Every last person needs to know the truth. The European, the Albion, the Moor, the Nubian race, the Caucasian. Truth sets you free. So until we know the truth, we're going to be enslaved. Torah, 5 books of Moses, Genesis 15:13 through 16. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them. And they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation who they shall serve will I judge. And afterward shalt thou go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age, but in the 4th generation thou shalt come hither again. For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Who is the Amorite? The Amorite bloodline, the origin of the Amorite bloodline, European, Caucasian, Amorite. That is the origin. Their iniquity is not yet full. Otherwise, our deliverance and healing would be to the fullness of its completion as well. Because they be done existing in iniquity, meaning they won't be trying to oppress people no more or colonize their lands. Notice that I have emphasized the word Amorite because many people confuse this bondage with that of the Israelites. It could not be speaking of the Israelites because they were in bondage under the Egyptians. The Egyptians were their brethren through Mizraim. The 2nd book of Moses, Genesis 2:6. They were all Nubian descended. Nubian, Islamic, Hebrews. Y'all prove me wrong. Because I'm tired of our family members. I'm Indian. I'm Hebrew. I'm Christian. I'm African. Don't know what I am. So now that we've just established Nubian, Islamic, Hebrews, derived from, what that say? Mizraim. The Moabitess queen, Mizraim. We descendants of them. Torah is 5 books of Moses. Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. So let's take it back. 400 years we've been afflicted by who? The Amorites. We, the Nubian race. We, the Moors. Come back. Sojourning, the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. Those same Nubian Moors dwelled in Egypt and learned all of the ancient truths and principles. Will you not heed to the facts? Is it the Nubian in America who is being oppressed by the Amorite, one of the tribes of Canaanites? Everybody wants to know the truth. They're always arguing about what really happened. I'm tired of arguing. I'm just trying to set the record straight so we can move forward with picking up a brick and building one another's houses with each other. Taking some seed and putting it in the ground so that our children can eat from one another's table. Noble Ali, Marcus Garvey, Sheikh Daoud, and Honorable Elijah Muhammad all knew of the Amorites' nature and wanted to help the Nubian man. They laid the foundation for your true way of life. Malatu, Ibrahim, the religion of Abraham. Al-Quran, the Quran, 114 books of Muhammad. And as for him who turned away, rejecting the law and the religion of Abraham, he makes a fool of himself. And indeed, we have chosen him, Abraham, in this physical world, and verily in the last day forever. And he is of the perfectionists. After the abolishment of physical slavery in America in the 1860s, the social conditions that existed at this time gave rise to such social as black nationalism and separatism. I say the abolishment of physical slavery because mental slavery still exists among those of you who do not accept or are blind to your true heritage, all Islam. Although Sheikh Dawood and Noble Drew Ali did not preach separatism, as did Marcus Musa Garvey and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they placed great emphasis on the Nubian people recognizing their true way of life. They all had at least one thing in common: the insight to know that by following all the scriptures of Allah, most glorified and exalted, the Nubian in the West would be free from the Amorite, the cursed devil, oppression. It was prophesied that Marcus Musa Garvey, Sheikh Dawood, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Noble Drew Ali would lay the foundation of your true way of life, Al-Islam, so that I, the reformer, can continue their mission and bring you the complete teaching of Al-Islam. I could fit into Noble Drew Ali's shoes and don Elijah Muhammad's hat and put on Sheikh Dawood's robe and bear the flag of Marcus Garvey, which was raised from Mahdi, of whom I descend. Oh, come on with it, because I'm going to have to say it again. Because when it touches my soul and it's me, then I have to speak it for emphasis. I could fit into Noble Drew Ali's shoes and don Elijah Muhammad's hat and put on Sheikh Dawood's robe and bear the flag of Marcus Garvey, which was raised from the Mahdi, of whom I descend. Noble Drew Ali knew that it would be I, as Saeed al-Imam Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, who would come with the knowledge of all the scriptures. Whoa! I wish people were more sure of themselves like that. The scriptures of Allah most glorified and exalted. The four texts of the Suhuf. As Suhuf, 100 pure pages. The Book of Life, 10 pages. The Book of Sin, 50 pages. The Book of Time, 30 pages. The Book of Generation, 10 pages. The remaining 6 texts of the scriptures. We get these in our souls and we'll be well versed in spiritual freedom. We ain't going to be mental slaves if we get in these scriptures and understand how they apply to our soul and how they relate to realigning religion with your ancestral parents. I am endowed with Fuquan, the ability to differentiate the allegorical and decisive portions of the scripture, and Bayina, the criteria by which all things are made clear in order that I may teach the people. I am the help that was prophesied in the Quran. We of the Nubian Islamic Hebrews are Nusur, Allah, aiders in Allah's way. Now, doesn't everybody have to be this? But this man took a particular position in life. Suratran Nasar, chapter of the aiders, Al-Quran. So when we read the chapter of the aiders, we're going to know what our responsibility is to the Nubian race or to our Moorish bloodline. Begin all things with the illustrious name of Allah, the Yielder, the most merciful. When Allah's aid comes to you and the victorious seals open and you have seen the crowds of people entering, converting to Allah's prescribed way of life, Al-Islam, then glorify and exalt your sustainer with praise and worship and ask his forgiveness, for surely he, Allah, is eternal, receptive to those who turn to him seeking repentance. Now, my Allah, Al, is a feminine origin. When I do Allah, she. That's my mother. Cordell Harris. Greetings to you. Who wrote this document? The person who wrote this document is, and we're on page 15, we're going to page 20, the reformer for this day and time, Al-Saeed al-Imam Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, 1945, still living. This picture was taken in the year 1988 AD in America. I was born in 87. On to page 15 where we were. If we're wrong and these teachings are incorrect and someone can prove to us with another verifiable document the truth of Prophet Noble Drew Ali and how we as a Moorish nation through the temple or through nationalization can be free, connecting back with your bloodline, y'all go ahead and share it on up for people. Although they may have made you aware that you need to follow all the scriptures, it was I who made you know that what these scriptures are. We of the Nubian Islamic Hebrew mission are Nasar, aiders in Allah's way in this day and time. Look at the growth of our mission and you will see the people entering into the way of life prescribed by Allah, most glorified and exalted. We are located in Europe, South America, Africa, the Caribbean, Canada, Puerto Rico, Barbados, and the major cities in the United States. The Nubian leaders, such as Noble Jew Ali, did not have the complete knowledge, such as that of the scriptures, to offer the Nubians. The Nubian man in America was guided to a certain level of self-awareness. Their missions were important in that respect. Now, I personally feel that Prophet Noble Jew Ali, even if he didn't know all the scriptures, he was gifted politically with the mind judicially to be able to exercise government in our land for our people. Noble Jew Ali, being the first Islamic pioneer in the West, signed the first charter making the Moorish Science Temple of America a legally incorporated organization. Where did Noble Jew Ali get the name for the Moorish Science Temple of America? Noble Jew Ali identified himself with the Moors of North Africa, who were brought to America as slaves, knowing that the history of the black man in America was as an African slave. He believed that we were descendants of the Moors. For this reason, he called us Moorish American. The word science represents Noble Jew Ali's belief that the black man's true culture is science, meaning al-Islam is a science, and through this science, the black man. Now, if we're wrong, and when I say we're, if this document is misrepresenting our prophet, then y'all throw it in the comments, the truth about our prophet. Is science, meaning al-Islam, is a science. Through science, the black man can be independent of the white man in solving his problems. We must get out of life as much good as we create. When we rely upon others to study the secrets of nature and think and act for us, then we have created a life for ourselves, one which is termed hell. To me, another person governing and influencing my consciousness is hell. If you speak to us from the perspective of the physical, what you see in the natural, we probably will not hear you at all. Oh, he ain't got on a fez. He must not be a Moor. Oh, well, he ain't as dark as us, so he must not be a Moor. These is all physical things we see with our eyes and make judgments upon whatever the circumstance, situation, and thing is. We have to look deeper. That means spending time with one another to get to know each other as human beings. The use of the word science is based on the belief that everything finds its roots in mathematics. All the questions in the universe can be answered through the application of the 360 degrees of knowledge contained in the universe. The use of the word temple is based upon the knowledge he acquired in his travels through Egypt. He understood that a masjid is a place of prostration and a temple is a place of knowledge. Noble Jew Ali didn't possess the knowledge of the scriptures to guide the people religiously. However, he had the knowledge of the fundamentals of Islam to teach and guide the people to the truth. Thus, the name Moorish Science Temple is based upon what he thought was our nationality, Moors, our way of life, al-Islam, a science, the manner in which it would be presented to the people, teaching within a temple. Y'all see how that broke down? If we're incorrect in that particular assessment, we need a real assessment as the purpose and principle for why the Moorish Science Temple is based. Oh, come on, Hanif, Shantae, help us out. We need that truth, and we know it's in your mind. We appreciate you getting on and teaching and delivering the young matriarchs that's going to be in honor governing this nation. What was the first temple? Why was the first temple called the Canaanite temple? Noble Jew Ali believed that according to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all inhabitants of Africa were of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. Whoa, come on with it. In the customs and symbols section of this pamphlet, I explain how in Masonry, one of the journeys from one degree or veil to another, in order to enter the first veil, the initiate must replace the name of Ham with the name Adoniram. Ham, son of Noah, was the father of the start of Masonry. This is to say that Masonry was started by Canaanites. That is why Noble Drew Ali called his first temple the Canaanite Temple, because it was the start of the Moorish science movement here in the Western Hemisphere. Noble Drew Ali also knew that this name would be accepted by the devil. He was trying to build a nation and had to do many things to keep the devil's attention off of him. What is a Canaanite? In order for me to explain what a Canaanite is, I must first define who Canaan was and how he became the cursed seed and the father of the pale race. Torah, 5 books of Moses, Genesis 10, 15 through 18. And Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite, and afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. It was through the seed of Ham's son Canaan, the beginning of the pale race, that the 200 fallen angels were able to get back on earth. As a result of Ham's extreme anger, he became possessed by Anak, the devil's curse him bride. Anak, the devil's curse him bride. Now you're referring to the edition, Part 2, Nubian Islamic Hebrew Mission, Ansar Allah Publications, the true story of Noah. All of Canaan's sons were possessed by fallen angels. That's why y'all got those angelic abilities. Y'all think that spirits can't inhabit people? Shoot. Y'all be surprised at the type of people I run into. Woo! These spirits is out there, boy. Look, y'all better be guarding y'all gates. What would the world be like if Eve didn't eat the forbidden fruit? I don't know about that particular story, but I'm going to go with it right now. Women who have changed the course of history. Inside this book, Women Who Have Changed the Course of History are exclusive stories of 40 prominent women in the scripture ruled by love, hate, greed, and altered history. Read of a beautiful woman who seduced 2 angels of the heavenly hosts. Iblis, wife of Aisha, a wife of the Prophet Muhammad. Still a misleading story. Never underestimate the power of a woman. As a child, you learned the simplified version of Noah and the ark and what took place. Now it's time to learn the whole story of the universal flood. Here in 2 parts is the true story of Noah, filled with detailed illustrations, maps, glossaries, and a clear, concise account of this great biblical event. Also included information on extraterrestrials, UFOs, life within and beyond this planet. Y'all see these publications. I will study them, and any errors, y'all go ahead and clean it up. At the present moment, we're going to be on page 18. We got 2 more to go. This is a 10-part teaching series. We're going to be reading about 10 pages a day, either early in the morning or right before we go to bed. Canaan, wife Salah, 11 sons, and the 11 unholy spirits from the 200 fallen angels that possess their bodies. Now y'all see these 11 sons. And then y'all see the 200 spirits that inhabited or possessed their bodies. Cause them to be acting crazy and treating our queens like they ain't got no sense. Cause them to be tyrants and be abusing and oppressing the people. The devil's seed, Canaan, 2326 BCE to 1660, was the son of Ham and his wife Halimah, the brother of Cush and Mizraim. Ham, the son of Noah, committed an unlawful act against his father by looking upon his nakedness with thoughts of sodomy, as Noah laid on his tent unclothed and drunk from the wine of his vineyard. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the sustainer. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover thy nakedness. Now, they're talking about clothes. They're talking about mentally. If you are in any way, shape, or form practicing anything in your mind regarding immorality towards your feminine principle. Because of Ham's sin, Allah, most glorified and exalted, placed a curse on his father's son. Noah told his son Ham, "Cursed be Canaan." And he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. He's going to get back in the prophet pretty soon here, just giving a little history of the origin of us. He said, blessed be the sustainer of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. The question may arise as to why Noah cursed Canaan instead of Ham, and how did Noah know about Canaan when he wasn't even born yet? Remember, Noah was a prophet of Allah, most glorified and exalted. He was given the ability to prophesy the future. Because Allah, most glorified and exalted, spoke through him, he knew the curse would fall on Ham. Ham's offspring, Canaan, were the ones to receive the curse because the sins of the father would fall upon the son, even unto the fourth generation. Now, let me tell y'all my personal experience with that. I watched every single man, the majority of males in my family, deal with alcoholism, right? So you see the sins of the father will fall upon the son. I struggled with that early on, the sins of my father. So if y'all got strongholds, the way to break the stronghold is by resisting whatever pressure is coming upon you. Don't let your conscious mind accept that particular stronghold in your bloodline, and you will break it from your seeds. The point I am making here is that the black race, Nubians, did not descend from Canaan, whose descendants are white, cursed with leprosy. They descended from three major families from the seed of the prophet Noah after the great flood: Shem, Cush, and Mizraim. And his wife Fatin, the father of the Semitic tribes. They are all black and live in Asia and Africa. Hello, Asiatics. Cush and his wife Nubala, father of the Cushites. They are all black and live in Sudan, Africa. Mizraim and his wife Quatwan, father of the Mizraimites, the original black Egyptians living in Aswan, Africa today. Both Cush and Mizraim were the sons of Ham and his wife Haliyama. Shem and their uncle Ham's brother, as I mentioned before, the prophet Noah, was Nubian, and his lineage comes from the prophet Abraham, and his seed the Ishmaelites through his first son Ishmael, the Israelites through his second son Isaac, and the Midianites through his 6 sons by his third wife Keturah. Now we see the breakdown right here. After we settle and adjourn the matter of who we are and where we come from, then we need to settle and adjourn the matter, what are we supposed to be doing? Well, every other nation and people group on the earth, they're building. So that's what I'm doing. When I get on the road in the next couple of days, I'm going to travel and meet Moors that are building. And we're going to build. And that's where our children are going to be healthy and raised at. This page 20, last page of the morning. Although Noble Jew Ali intended to teach you the divine truth of your nationality, now this man saying whatever, you know, I never will speak on what the prophet accomplished. I'm just making an effort to follow in his footsteps in some way, shape, or form. To teach you the divine truth for your nationality, he fell short, and the task now lies with me. You must come home and accept your own. Have brought you to the water, and now you must drink. To raise my people, the Moabites. In order to clear up the misconceptions that Nubians, the so-called Moors, according to Noble Jew Ali, were descendants of the Moabites, I must give you a brief history of the prophet Lot, from whom the Moabites descended. Rebuild Moorish civilizations. 8. Moorish Ajala. I can't chop your name, I'm sorry. I'm with you. And whatever thoughts or gifts from Allah you've been given concerning creating, this is what we do. If y'all go in our group, y'all going to see all birthed creations from Moors, allodial de jour businesses. Now, most of the Moors, they have figured out how to make it allodial and make it a LLC, separate from the LLC, but we're going to teach them that. How to be allure and de jour with our practices. Lot, who was born in Ur, a town in Mesopotamia that is located in southern Iraq, lived the same way of life as his uncle, the prophet Abraham. This way of life was Islam. And Abraham, by way of it, bequeathed his sons and Jacob's sons. Surely Allah chose a decision for you, the din. So do not die unless you are of the ones surrendering in peace. There came a point in Lot's life where he felt he could teach the people on his own, just as many people they think they can leave the Nubian Islamic Hebrew mission and start their own community today. He told his uncle he wanted to go off into the valley where it looked greener and thereby set up his own house. Abraham, understanding youth as he did, yielded to Lot and let him go. Thus Lot settled in Sodom and Gomorrah among the evildoers. Lot was chosen as a prophet to guide the people who had strayed away from the ways of the Creator with homosexuality, adultery, and robbery. Just like today in the new Sodom and Gomorrah, the United States of America, they too have strayed away from the Creator and are committing all types of fornication. It came to pass the night the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed, the two angels, Raphael and Uriel, who were to destroy the cities, visited Lot. That's number 20. After combing all the statements made by this person, y'all make sure that y'all put in y'all truths if y'all have them so that we can move forward and we don't have to keep on being deceived and bickering and disunified about what is and what is not. After which, please join Moorish American Consulate Central and Maxim Group. If you have created something, we are marketing that creation. We are encouraging industrious Moors to trade, to barter, to exchange fiat, to exchange energy in and of our own bloodline. If there's a grocery store that's down the street and you know a Moor who grows food, you're going to call that Moor who grows food, and you're not going to the corporation GMO center anymore. On our group, everything that the corporations provide in our group, we, as creative beings, provide for one another now. This is how you starve them out and you feed them out, or you piece them out, you starve them out. Stop being dependent upon them. They use the Moorish science to give you everything you need, but before they give it to you, they poison it, therefore poisoning you. Take your kids out to schools, start teaching them yourselves. If you're unable to do that because of fiat and you need to still pay your rent, well, we're getting to a point where we're learning how to use this law to prove that we're heirs, so they have to pay us rent. I know a landlord right now who's going to teach me how to be a landlord. Sup, what you got? Not going to uncover you as you're one of my secret weapons, but it's good to see you. Peace and love to you. I hope y'all enjoying this teaching. We're going to get to page 20 through 30 right before we go to sleep, or right when we wake up. I'll see you shortly after the 23rd Grand Sheik. I'll be with you soon. Peace and love to you, family.